Shuffle, baby. Welcome back to it.
Welcome back to the show, episode 77 of The Island Shuffle, the show where we watch Lost out of order and just talk about it.
We just talk about it. We talk about the show Lost and never anything else. Always, we'd love to talk about our favorite show
We stay
Lost.
to the script.
We stick to the script. We heavily script these episodes, and if we get a line wrong, well, back to start, buddy.
Back to line number one.
Yep.
We do it in one take and one take only.
One take and one take only, and we delete every other recording. This is an arduous process.
It takes too long.
It takes too long. We've gotten better at it, but in general, I think we can come up with a better way to do this, I think.
There must be some other sort of way. But until then, let's hope that we don't mess it up.
Let's hope. I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's just diving right in.
My God, today we watched truly a late episode of the show Lost.
It doesn't get much later than this, unless you're the finale, that is.
This is the penultimate episode of our favorite television show, Lost.
Yes, Lost.
Season 6, episode 16, What They Died For.
What did they die for, James?
Well, first we have to ask, who are they?
Who are they?
Who died? And the answer is, this episode occurs right after the writers of the show Lost kill Sun, Jin, and Saeed all at the same time in a submarine.
Yep. So they is all the people of color who
in
remain.
one foul swoop, they knock out all of the people of color, and we are discovering why they all died.
Yes, ostensibly.
Yeah, purportedly that is what we will discover. Did we? I am not convinced that we did.
I am definitely not convinced that we did.
I don't see why they had to die.
I don't think so.
I don't. Also, Saeed had already died once.
Yeah, he was already dead, so it's fine.
But what even happened in this episode?
Right.
It is so complex.
This is a touchstone. This is just like classic season 6 bullshit where so much shit happens, but none of it means a goddamn thing.
I have no idea what happened.
But I can assure you from the full page of notes that things did in fact happen.
We watched things occur. Well, should we tackle the on-island things or the classic, beautiful season 6 alternate reality?
Oh my gosh, good question. I think they're all so disjointed. There's no winning.
I know.
You know what? I'm going to let I'm going to borrow a page from your favorite podcast.
The lovable favorites coin flip is making its way over here.
The crossover event of the century. The lovable favorites coin flip arrives.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, do you think heads should be island or heads should be
Heads
alternate?
is island.
Okay, heads is island, tails, we talk about the alternate reality.
Here it is.
Fell on the ground.
We lost it. What is it?
It's tails, baby.
Tails. We are going to begin talking about the alternate universe, and my God, is it ill-conceived.
Boy, well, listen, I've got a question for you. The writers of Lost have a question for all of us here at this pivotal juncture. What would it have been like if Lost Plane didn't crash upon island?
And apparently, some things would be very different, and some things would be very the same.
It seems like there's an opportunity for some profound and interesting storytelling there. Instead,
we get a bunch of bullshit.
We open up with there's like many plot lines through here. Let's start with the Jack one because it's the shortest.
Jack has cut his neck.
Jack wakes up and he's got blood on his neck.
It's a big cut,
It's a big cut, and he goes, "That's weird. Oh well, better go eat breakfast with my son and half-sister who's pregnant."
So Jack goes and he eats breakfast. The cut thing never comes back.
Yeah.
It opens with this big gash on his neck, and it is utterly meaningless.
Yes.
And then he goes and he hangs out with his son, who is like 16.
Yep.
And Claire.
Claire.
That is living there for some reason.
Yep. I do believe this was covered, but who could possibly be bothered to give a shit?
And we can confirm that Claire is still pregnant.
Claire's still pregnant.
In the alternate reality.
Mhm.
Even though Jack's life is very different. He has
Yes.
a child.
Yes.
That's the biggest difference.
That's the big
Aside
difference.
from that, he's still a doctor.
He has a child and met Claire. Other than that, living
the same.
big.
Yeah.
Later at the office, Jack gets a visit from one John Locke.
But wait.
Wait.
There's something that happens at breakfast.
Oh, yes.
The son says, are you coming to the concert tonight? And Jack says, yes. And that is supposedly meaningful.
Apparently, throughout the entire Sideways flashback, fucking whatever it is, alternate time, everybody's like, oh, you're going to that concert later? Listen, we got to get somewhere. It's the concert. We got to go to the concert.
Go to the concert.
What
And it's a
concert?
concert we discover through Miles's very, very brief cameo.
Yes.
That it's a concert at like Miles's dad's museum or
Yes.
something.
Yes. So
I guess.
get ready for that in the finale, I guess.
That'll be fun.
How sick would
also, we watched the first half of the finale. I don't remember any concert.
It may have been mentioned. I don't think we've seen it yet. I think we'll see
we
it
haven't
when
seen the concert. So they built up to this concert for 2 whole episodes.
Here's what I want the finale to be. Only a long concert.
It's just a concert. Oh my god! And they're like, we were building up to the concert. You knew this.
From day one, this was the plan. They were all gonna get in a band and play a concert together,
Yes,
like
God
friends.
Damn it!
Like the friends that they are.
But then, Jack goes to his office.
Yes. And who does he get a visit from? But Mr. John Locke.
John Locke.
And John Locke says, "Wowee, I'm ready for surgery now."
He says, Jack, you wanted to fix me, and you told me that you just wanted to help me let go. And you know what? This man, who happens to be Desmond,
Yes.
ran me over with his car because he wanted me to let go too, apparently. And if that's not a sign that you should fix my legs, then I don't know what is.
And Jack is like, "Good enough for me."
And
they
then
book
he
it.
looks down the barrel of the camera and laughs.
Real, like, you know how we sometimes say, and then they look into the camera as like a funny joke? Because nobody would ever look into the camera on a professional show that's one of the most acclaimed and influential shows of the decade.
It really goddamn happens.
Jack motherfucking Shepard really does. In fact, like, so the full scene is like Locke rolls in, looks at a pic of the family, Jack's family.
Literally rolls in.
And is like, "Oh, the family. Oh, your son looks like you." And Jack says, "Oh, don't tell him that." And then they both have a hearty chuckle.
So
They
much.
laugh and laugh and laugh at this funny joke.
And
Oh.
Jack starts his laugh looking at Locke and then looks at the camera for like a half a second, I would say.
I want to go so far as to say a full second.
And then he looks back at Locke all throughout this one laugh.
You didn't have a different shot to use?
It's insanity. Could they not? I feel like maybe the actors are becoming so unhappy with what has happened with the show.
Yes.
They were only capable of producing one laugh.
I think so. That must have been it.
They
Huh?
said Jack fucked it up, but you know what? These guys can't laugh again today.
That's just it. We gotta make do.
We have the laugh. My God.
That is really funny.
It's weird.
So
that's Jack's plot.
That's Jack's plot. Jack gets a call about his. Oh yeah, he also gets a call about they found his dad's coffin.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. And who was making that call? One Desmond
It
Hume.
was Desmond.
And where was he making that call? Sitting in the parking lot of the school.
He was in the parking lot of the school, and then who knocks on his window?
Doctor, professor, substitute teacher, Benjamin Linus.
Substitute teacher, Dr. Ben Linus.
Yeah. and
What a nerd.
He's the biggest nerd in the world, comes up and says, "Teacher, I found the man who ran over the man in the wheelchair.
Yeah. I watched you hit John Locke.
And if you're going to do it again, you've got another thing coming. Officer, officer." And then before anyone can do anything, Desmond gets out of the
Kicks
car.
the shit out of Ben.
Just beats the shit out of Ben in probably the highlight of the episode.
And during the beating, Ben has flashbacks to Desmond beating Ben in the other universe.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of is the beginning of his connection to the other universe.
Yes. Let's go through the rest of Ben's plot because
it's incredible.
it's
It's
on one.
insanity.
So he goes to the nurse's office and says, like, I got the scraping, and also I've remembered something weird. That was weird, huh? And the nurse is like, whatever, Mr. Linus.
See ya.
Bye. And then Locke comes in and is like, are you okay? Ben explains, I got in a fight. This weirdo said that he wasn't trying to hurt you by running you over with his car. He was trying to help you let go. And Locke goes, oh, what the heck? That's weird. Better
Crazy, bud.
I better go see a doctor now.
Bye, Dr. Ben.
Bye, Dr. Ben. I gotta go see a real doctor.
And then what? Ben is leaving school.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna drive away, but
Yeah.
he can't drive away because one of his hands doesn't, and one of his arms doesn't work.
He's got a busted old arm is what he's got.
So his favorite student, Alex, who is his daughter in the other world, she goes, Dr. Linus, oh, you can't drive home like this.
What happened to you? Are you okay? Who could beat you up? You're like the nicest guy ever. And Linus is like, oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. And the whole time we're sitting there screaming because in the real world, that's your daughter.
That's your freaking daughter. Oh, my God. Think about all the ways that the universe can be assembled,
Wow, man. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
I like how it's like, Jack is always going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Claire is always going to be pregnant. Then for some reason, both Locke and Ben are teachers. When I feel like they would both be awful teachers.
No, they haven't a teaching bone in their body.
They're both insane. They're so, and Ben is so nice in this world, and he is so mean in the other world.
He is a monster.
So it's like that is definitely the biggest personality change that occurs from world to world.
I don't know why they don't do that more often, because everybody else is pretty much the same.
They're almost entirely the same. The other biggest thing is Sawyer is a cop now, but he still has his rough and tumble instincts.
Yeah. That was a great way to describe that.
Kate is still a criminal.
Yeah.
Saeed is a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what he did, but we'll get into it.
I'm sure we've already talked about it, or we will talk about it.
Yeah.
Who gives a heck? Basically,
Saeed is in America for some reason.
It's true. He sure is.
Yeah. It's very weird.
It's odd. So Ben is like, Alex basically is like, you can't drive in this condition. Oh, Mom, can we give Mr. Linus a ride home? And guess what? It's Danielle Rousseau,
It's
baby.
Rousseau is still Alex's mom because you can't alternate universe the gene pool.
You sure can't. You can try your best, but you won't succeed.
Yeah. You can try your best, but you won't succeed.
Stuck in reverse.
So their car is stuck in reverse. That's a funny little.
That's a funny little. They go, oh, whoa. Sometimes I feel like this car is driving me. Danielle Rousseau says out loud and then laughs at the camera.
No, but really, Rousseau gets out of the car and she's like, oh, yes, of course we'll drive you home. Oh, and you must come for dinner.
Yes.
And then Ben's like, no, I wouldn't want to. And she's like, oh, you must, even if we have to kidnap you. Ha, 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 ha.
Ha, 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 ha. Funny jokes.
Yeah,
funny,
jokes that parents make.
Funny regular
teachers.
parent joke that we all love to make. Funny kidnapping the teachers is funny joke.
And then they go, I guess, eat dinner. We never see that part.
We never see
Alex do homework.
Yes.
Well, Ben puts a plate away.
Yes. The dinner is implied.
Yeah,
They just
dinner is implied.
in this action-packed, filled to the brim episode, we don't have time
There's no time for dinner.
For dinner. And Rousseau says, like, oh, Alex just thinks the world of you, Mr. Linus. In fact, her father died when she was 2, so it's almost like you're the closest thing to a father she's ever really had.
Then Ben gets a little tear in his eye.
He gets a little tear in his eye, and he says, oh, it must be the onions. I'm not sad. Aww.
And Rousseau says, then I'll have to put less onions in it next time. Implying that there will be a next time.
Oh, baby. Weird.
Really weird.
Weird way to handle this, I think, personally.
I don't think it was a necessary addition to make Ben creepy teacher who wants his student to be his daughter.
Yes. Yeah. Weird. already like even on island kind of a weird relationship. They don't handle it good here.
It's really bizarre.
It's odd.
But that's just Lost for you.
That's just Lost for you.
That's just TV's best show.
Sometimes they just don't do a good job with it. It's fine.
And that's Ben's story.
That's Ben's alternate universe tale
and
of
who else do we have?
There's one more thing, which is basically Desmond's whole
Desmond sort of strings everyone else together.
Yeah, Desmond.
And it is lit.
This is actually pretty fun. Desmond, after kicking the shit out of Ben, goes to Sawyer's office and turns himself in for the crime of running over Locke and kicking the shit out of Ben. And thankfully, there's only one jail in L.A. because guess who else he's bunked up with?
We have Saeed and we have Kate.
Oh, baby.
And there is no one else in the jail.
No one else. The only criminals in all of L.A. They've arrived. Everybody's here.
They are here. And you know what? They are all under Sawyer's custody. and Miles's.
Yes. And Sawyer says, all right, boys, time to go to the county. Here we go. And rounds everybody up and puts Saeed, Desmond, and Kate in a van, and off they go. And Desmond says, all right, you guys, guess what? You guys want to do a jailbreak or what? And Saeed's like, oh, this guy turned himself in. He's a wacky guy. Well, I'm not going to trust a word this guy says. And Desmond says, actually, what if you do trust me? Because it's going to happen. And no matter what, we're going to get out of here. So you got to trust me. And also, you got to do something for me. And they're just like, fucking whatever, buddy. All right, we'll trust you. And much to their surprise, the van does indeed stop. And who lets them out?
Ana Lucia.
Remember Ana Lucia?
You know, the cop in the other world? She's a cop in this world, too. But she's a crooked cop because she's like, all right, I'm letting you out. Where's my money?
Where's my money? And Desmond's like, 1 second. And who rolls up with the money?
Hurley.
Hurley has the money.
It's $125,000 to release 3 people he doesn't know from jail. 3 criminals he doesn't know.
Just regular billionaire stuff.
He is just a good philanthropist.
He drives up in a big yellow Hummer, too.
It's cool.
Which
I
is
do
very
like
good.
that. And then Ana Lucia's like, all right, later.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what are we doing? And then Hurley's like, take my Camaro. Because he has his Hummer and his Camaro
He drove them both at the same time.
There.
He drove them both there. He had 1 foot in one car and 1 foot in the other. And just kind of like water skied them down the LA highway.
And so that's cool.
That's cool and a sick stunt. Unfortunately, like the dinner, it's implied. We don't get to see it. So
Saeed goes with Hurley,
and
we never see them again.
And Kate goes with Desmond, and both of them are like, hold on a sec. You need to explain to us what's going on and where we're going. And Desmond says, we're going to a concert, baby!
Which is insane because they're going to the very concert put on by the father of the detective who was like in charge of the jail you were in.
And Jack's gonna be at that concert too, and so's Jack's ex-wife.
Oh,
man, oh man.
Hijinks almighty.
Have you ever thought that maybe this isn't just like these? To me, these seem like random happenstance coincidences.
They seem like coincidences.
But it seems like maybe this is part of a greater pattern that starts to emerge.
But
do you think?
We don't find out.
We just don't. We'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen at this concert where everybody goes and everybody has a fun time.
And that covers the entirety of the Flash Sideways.
Nothing.
Nothing.
None of it made me feel
Fucking
any type of
weird.
way. The Desmond stuff was kind of fun. It's fun to see Desmond
stuff was fun.
It's fun to see Desmond just kind of like know shit and everybody be like, "Oh, this guy, whatever."
It was fun to watch him beat up Ben Linus, and then that caused flashbacks of Ben being beat up in a different universe.
Okay, that's what I like about this. Is because I believe at this point it's been established that like for everyone else, I'm pretty sure it's like Hurley kisses Libby, and then Hurley remembers the other universe. And I think there's other ones like that too, where it's like, oh, I see the one I love, and that makes me remember. Like Saeed sees Shannon, and that like makes him remember. For Ben, it's getting the shit kicked out of him. That's his trigger.
Kicked out of him.
And
he's like, oh, this is what I do in the world.
This is my one true love.
I get the shit kicked out of me.
Getting my face crushed.
It's very interesting. And that's that.
That's that. What do you say we talk about real life now?
Yeah, on the goddamn island.
The goddamned island. There's 2 major plots here.
Uh-huh.
We have the main, the surviving candidates And we also have Ben and Widmore doing some bullshit. Where do you want to go?
Let's go Ben and Widmore doing some bullshit.
Okay, I like that. So we have a real motley crew.
Oh, yeah.
It's Richard, Ben, and
Miles.
You gotta have Miles.
You gotta have Miles. Sawyer's cop friend? You mean the guy from the boat?
You mean the guy who was a baby once upon a time?
Oh, yeah.
You mean the guy who can talk to the dead?
The guy whose dad is on the videotape?
He's here too? Gotta have Miles.
So we have the ringleader of the others.
Yeah.
We have the 1,000-year-old man.
The ageless spokesperson for Jacob.
Better get Miles in on this one.
What this dynamic really needs is just a dash of Miles.
And then they're like, do you want to go to a house and get some explosives to blow up a plane?
And Miles is like, baby, do I?
Yes. Mother, may I?
Baby, do I? And so we have miles to go before we sleep. And so they show up in Yellow House Town. And Miles goes, oh my gosh, I sense a dead person. What the heck? And Ricky is like, oh, that must be Alex. We buried her after you left. And Ben is like, oh gosh.
Chill.
Jeez Louise. Well, that's come see, come sa.
Yeah. That ties up that loose end.
That's
in
where
the story.
Consider that bow left upon the present.
Yeah. Maybe in 10 minutes I can readopt her when I'm her teacher in a different universe.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
You know the daughter that I let die?
After stealing her from her mom for no
Yeah.
discernible reason.
For no discernible reason.
Well, I guess
My God.
there's always the alternate timeline where I can adopt her.
My God.
Lord in heaven. So they go into Ben's old house, and they find some C4, and they're like, we better bring it all to blow up the big plane.
Blowing up a big plane.
But then who should interrupt them in their home?
Some lady.
Some lady.
And also Widmore.
Some lady and Widmore are here. And Widmore says,
Zoe. Don't you remember Zoe, everybody?
Zoe, everyone's favorite character, Zoe. She's here. She's a henchman of Widmore. She is here.
She is here.
Her number one factor is how much she does exist. That's what everyone remembers about her is how
Paolo and Nikki. All over again.
Once again, they're back, baby. So they're here, and Widmore and Ben, my goodness, what rivals! They've spent their lifetime dedicated to fucking each other over, killing each other's henchmen, all in pursuit of protecting the island. But boy, effectively a minor
It's the
war.
showdown.
People have gotten their lives ruined due
Yeah.
to this extended showdown
A lot
between
of
them.
deaths.
And now here they stand next to each other. So what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen now, I wonder?
Well, Zoe's gonna go look in some binoculars.
That's true. And Widmore is going to say, I'm 3 steps ahead of you like always, Benjamin Linus.
Even though a week ago he didn't know where the fucking island was.
Yes. Widmore claims that he's here on Jacob's behalf now.
Uh-huh.
He says, Jacob came, showed me the error of my ways, and now I'm here to help, baby. So
it's funny listening to this and being like, what were they thinking?
It really is.
It's so difficult and stupid.
It's nonsense. It's so we can keep saying these things, and it doesn't make them any more or less meaningful or impactful.
I don't know if there's any character in anything that I like less than Jacob. I think he is he ruined the show.
We will get into that
Okay.
because Jacob has a hefty scene later. So we can really dish on Jacob in a second. For now we got to focus on Widmore.
Yeah. The showdown.
The showdown. And Widmore says, "Listen, I'm here to help now." And Ben says, "Fuck you, idiot. Go to hell," or whatever. And then they basically Zoe goes out, says, "Oh my gosh, Locke is here. Locke is here, guys. Oh no." And so the whole crew decides, all right, me, Widmore, and Zoe, we're going to hide in your closet. You guys should hide too. And Ben says, no.
I'm going to see him.
I'm going to go meet him. Ricky says, I'll meet him too. He wants me. Miles says, fuck all this. I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
I'm sick of this shit.
Miles is a goddamn genius.
Miles is the smartest guy in the room, which is why they brought him along. But now they don't have him anymore. So what's it gonna be? So Ricky and
But now they don't have him anymore, so what's it gonna be?
what's it gonna be, guys?
You know how you talk about television? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Every
You
time-
don't have him anymore.
Every single time a scene ends and the stakes are different, I ask myself, well, what's it gonna be?
What's it gonna be?
TV writers, what is it gonna be this time?
So Ben goes out and Richard goes out,
yeah,
and then the smoke monster comes and kills Richard.
just domes Ricky.
Yeah,
Like-
we never see Richard again.
Yeah, Ricky's gone. Ricky he fucking like does a up smash on Ricky and sends him flying off into the blast zone.
Yeah,
And Ricky's just donezo.
and then Locke just walks around a corner.
And Locke's here. And Ben is like, waste no time. Ben is just like, Locke is like, hey, Ben, just the man I'm looking for. I need you to kill some people for me. And Ben's just like, you got
Chill.
it. You need me to kill Widmore? He's hiding in my closet. You need to kill anyone else? I'm your man. Wasted no time, baby. Boop, boop, boop. Beep, 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 beep. Damn, son. Damn.
Oh yeah.
It's time to duel.
And then they go to his closet.
Yeah, and sure enough, Widmore's there, and they're like the ultimate scene. Widmore has come here apparently to also confront Locke. Ben is here too, and Locke kills Zoe just to be mean, just to be like
immediately he
just to-
slashes her throat.
it's gross to see, and Locke is just like, I did that because I'm a psycho twisted guy.
Psycho killer.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? It's me, Locke. I'm a psycho killer. I'm a real twisted son of a gun.
I'm the smoke monster.
You thought I could be negotiated with? Well, I just killed a helpless lady.
Yeah.
So think twice before you
Fucking idiots.
come up to me and say hello.
And then Whitmore's like, what do you want, man?
Yeah, and Locke says, listen, here's the deal. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get off this island. I'm going to kill everybody. But if you tell me what to know, I won't kill your daughter. And Widmore's like, all right, here's the deal. Here's what I did here. I brought Desmond Hume back to the island. And the reason I brought him here was because he could act as a failsafe because of his unique resistance to electromagnetic properties. Oh no, I'm dying.
Bang,
Wait,
bang.
Before the gun.
Oh, wait.
Before the gun happened.
Uh-huh.
Like Locke is like, okay, when you say he's a failsafe, what do you mean? And Widmore's like, I'm not saying anything else in front of that bozo Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
So Locke says, so whisper it to me.
Yeah.
And then I scream out loud because
Whisper it to me so the audience can't hear.
And then Locke just later tells him what he says. So what's the
Yeah.
fucking just like prolonging it for no reason?
And then Ben shoots Whitmore several times.
Exactly. And
He dies.
And
Ben says he's not allowed to save his daughter.
that's that. That's
Cool.
not that, but there's like wouldn't it have been interesting to kind of expound upon why Widmore suddenly had this change of heart? Maybe he hasn't really. Maybe he's still got evil motives.
Maybe he hasn't talked to Jacob. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe him and Ben are forced to work together for the greater good of going against Locke.
No, let's just kill him
No,
immediately.
let's just do this dumbass shit instead.
Let's
Widmore's
do a
dead
thing
now.
where Ben is a teacher and he wants to be his student's kid
Remember-
instead of actually flesh out this thing we built up for a long ass time.
Remember our secondary antagonist, Charles Widmore? Well, he just dies now. He
He-
whispered to Locke and then he go die.
So stupid.
Ugh.
Ah.
Bad episode of show television.
Then what happens?
They go to find Desmond and he
should be in a well.
He should be in a well, but guess what? He's not in that well.
He's not in the well anymore.
And Locke says, I'm not mad, actually. I'm laughing. This is sick. This is exactly what I wanted. Shut up. And Locke says that the reason I need Desmond is because I'm going to do the damn thing. I'm going to destroy the island. Ba-ba-bow.
Then the lost letters pop up.
They sure fucking do, dude.
And that's that shitty plot
That's
line.
that plot line that fucking sucks ass.
We
and
have one more awful plot line.
We have a pretty bad one. I don't know if it's... they're both fucking different tiers of bad, I think.
Almost nothing happens in this plot line, which is funny.
Yeah, the majority of this plot line is we have Jack, Kate, Sawyer, and Hurley, the survivors of the submarine debacle, fucking just standing on the shore being sad.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
Guess we'll walk through the jungle.
Guess we'll walk through the jungle for a while, and they're just walking through the jungle forever. And then Hurley sees a little boy, and then the little boy is like, "Give me the ashes," and Hurley's like, "Oh, you mean these ashes?" Boy snatches him, and Hurley's like, "No, no," and chases the boy. And guess who he runs into?
Jacob, who lit a fire.
Jacob lit a fire, and he says, "Sit around the fire for a bit. I'm gonna sing a song for you."
Guess what, Hurley? I lit a fire so I could burn my ashes.
And once this fire is out, I'm gone for real forever this time.
Do ashes burn?
I think by definition, no.
I thought ashes were what happens after burning stops.
Yeah, like that's the point of ashes is they can't burn anymore.
Exactly. That's the end of the burn.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Jacob, I guess God can burn ashes.
God can burn ashes, I guess. I'll give him that one. Of all the things I'm going to give him, this is his one.
He can burn ashes. That's your one, God.
And so Hurley gathers his friends and says, "Here's Jacob, everybody." And everybody's like, "Whoa, we can see you too, and it's not just Hurley that can see you now." And Jacob says, "All right, listen up, because here's exposition time, baby. Here's the deal.
Now I will explain to you what is going on."
Now that we have reached just before the finale, it is time for me to come clean and actually explain to you the stakes, the ups and downs, the highs, the lows, why I brought you here, and what it is." And Kate, first of all, is like, "So you're the one who brought us here, right? Hey, why don't you go fuck yourself?"
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah.
And he's like, "But you were all so lonely. You didn't have anyone or anything in the world."
Mm-hmm. It's like Jacob just kind of breaks it all down. He says, like, "I brought you guys here, first of all. What I've been doing here is trying to hold back my biggest mistake. My biggest mistake, of course, being throwing my brother into a big pit and turning him into a manifestation of evil smoke that can now shapeshift into your friend lock."
It's a pretty big mistake.
Are you looking up the questions?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to not because spoiler reasons.
Oh, it's too late.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's too late for me.
Oh,
good.
Yes, that's
You
exactly
caught me
it.
quick.
I got you. So Jacob's explaining all this. He says, "I made the smoke monster, and now here's the deal. I chose you guys to take my place because, like I said, you guys are all losers. I wasn't taking you guys out of a happy life at all. You guys all had problems, shitty issues. You guys all sucked ass big time."
Which is fair enough.
And like,
you know, if someone is unhappy in a moment, that does allow you to put them on an isolated island and turn them into a deity.
That's true. If anyone has any problems ever, I think it's well within your right as an omnipotent god to just steer their life towards a supernatural island and have them be feasted upon by a manifestation of smoke that can shapeshift into their dead relatives and friends.
Let's do them the service of like showing them a cool trick, like burning ashes before their untimely death.
That's what I like about this is at first they're like, "Man, he really toyed with our fates in a way that I don't quite like." But then Jacob's like, "Check this shit out, burning ashes." And they're all like, "Wow, I'm ready to listen.
Holy shit.
If you can do this, you can do anything. Go on."
And then what happens? Jacob is just like, "You're all candidates to be me.
You're all candidates to be me. You got to do what I couldn't, which is to say you got to protect the light at the heart of the island.
Cool.
You got to kill Smokey.
Hell yeah.
Because he's going to try to kill you." And they're like, "He already succeeded a lot."
Yeah.
So
he's killed most of us.
He's killed a bunch of us. And he also says, and eventually they're like, "All right, well, how are you going to decide which of us gets the job?" And Jacob says, "Listen, I'm going to give you guys the one thing I never had, a choice. One of you guys is going to have to step up on your own accord. I'm not going to pick for you." And Jack, without missing a beat, says, "This is my purpose.
I will be the new Jacob.
I have my goals have been ambiguously defined for 3.5 seasons, but why not have this be my ultimate destiny?"
It's a really bizarre speech, but it's like to the point. It makes sense.
It really is concise.
Yeah.
In a really complicated episode, we have this very concise moment of lucidity from Jack, where he stares at the camera and says, "Finally, I have a goal."
Finally.
And so Jacob takes him to the river,
Makes him drink the water.
Makes him drink a cup, says, now you're like me, and then that's it. Jack's Jacob now.
That's the show.
That's the show.
Cool.
Cool. It's really cool. Just kidding. It's nothing.
It sucks.
It's none of that. None of that meant anything.
I feel like you could have accomplished just as much in 5 minutes of just like, Jack is the new god.
Yeah.
End of list. All the rest doesn't have to happen. The concert bullshit is hilarious.
The concert bullshit is like top tier. Like, remember how all of the they keep being like, oh my gosh, you were on Flight 815 too?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's weird. We were all on Flight 815. What a weird coincidence. The concert shit takes it to like, it's like galaxy brain
We're
level.
all going to the same. Is this the Flight 815 concert?
In honor of the flight that successfully landed, we are throwing a concert. We did it, boys.
We landed. My God.
So there's that shit. There's the Ben and Widmore shit that just is like fucking fizzles out like it's nothing, as if it hasn't been the driving force for the plot for the majority of the back half. And of course, Jacob is here to just fucking suck shit and be boring.
I like that. That really sums it up. Jacob fucking sucks.
He's no good. I gotta give him a no thank you for that. Like, it's just, like, we've gone in on Jacob before.
Yeah.
There's nothing new to say. He's just, like, the least interesting character in history.
He's so boring. He doesn't do anything.
And, like, the actor who plays Jacob does not do a good job.
Yeah.
Because I think he's trying to, like, play him as, like, kind of, like, this, like, detached sort of thing. But it just comes across like he's, like, bored.
Totally.
It really isn't, like, a good performance. Or at least not an interesting performance.
No, it's not good. The whole thing is a mess.
It's bad. And, like, maybe if there's just no substance to Jacob at all.
He also does one of the worst things that a bad character can do, which is die, but then not actually die.
Yeah.
He dies, and then he's, like, back. He's like, oh, I'm burning my ashes now, and I'll be dead whenever my ashes burn. And it's like, why not just be dead already? You died.
Better yet, why not just, like, tell the boys, like, right away?
Exactly.
As soon as you die, you should be like, oh, shit, it's popping off.
Yeah.
I got to tell these guys the stakes right now. Then maybe we have an interesting season where people are like, Jacob, what the fuck? Who's this? We got to trust this Jacob guy?
Yeah.
And then Jack is like, this is the reason we're here. And the people are like, you sound like Locke. And
Yeah.
Locke is like, I'm Locke, actually. Like, imagine that. Imagine where we know the stakes from the get-go.
Could be so much more interesting.
Instead of being, like, fed a bunch of breadcrumbs about a guy we don't give a fuck about. It's no good. Well,
here's
listen.
Some breadcrumbs about a guy you don't give a fuck about. How do you instill the essence of a man I don't care about into breadcrumbs?
That's the greatest mystery of all, if you ask me. Well, listen. There were many questions raised by this episode.
My God,
And-
were there ever?
And Lostpedia was kind enough to compile these into some handy questions and answers, of course, as they get answered.
I'd love to dive into that.
I know I did last week, but I'm doing it again because some of this will veer into finale spoiler territory. And we still want James to experience that.
I do want to experience it truly.
So I will be curating these ones. Here's a question: where is Claire at?
At what? In which timeline?
Real life, apparently.
Real life, like on the island.
Yeah.
I guess she's on the island. Why are they asking that question?
This is not a question that was raised. At no point during.
Someone's just like, oh, this could be a question.
Nobody is ever like.
I don't know. I don't know where she is.
They're like, where's Claire? Oh no. The answer is the monster left her behind on Hydra Island, as she wouldn't help him to kill any more people.
Cool.
Great. What is Richard's fate?
Does he die?
No, he lands in the bushes unconscious. He's fine. He got better.
Stupid.
He had another stock. Was Widmore really convinced of the errors of his ways?
No, of course not. Or how can we know he died?
Ambiguous, baby.
Of course.
According to disputed canon, Widmore was simply jumping at his opportunity to return to a position of power on the island. Is Ben really working for the monster, or is he being duplicitous?
He's being duplicitous.
I'm afraid that's ambiguous, my friend.
My God, I hate these questions.
In the next episode, he's being secretive against the monster. According to Disputed Canon. How do you like Disputed Canon? Because it's here to say.
Disputed canon. It's not canon if it's disputed.
Well, Disputed Canon has this to say. Ben was not truly on the monster's side, and in fact shot Widmore to prevent him from giving the monster information crucial to the island. Apparently both of these Disputed Canon answers are cited by the Lost Encyclopedia, that big honkin' tome that I have.
My God.
Gathering dust in my on the floor of my room. Okay, I believe that is, why is the monster going to the heart of the island? He
To
said
blow
so.
it up.
Blow it up, baby. Boop, boop, boop. Spoilery. Spoilery. Yeah, most of this. Okay, we got a good self-implied one as a nice little cherry on top of this sundae. James, I'm just wondering what the nature of Jacob's ashes burning in the fire is. What's the nature of that?
If the final way that he can leave the spiritual realm is by burning ashes.
You got it, basically. It seems that Jacob used his power to make it so that burning his ashes would allow him to take form to the remaining candidates.
Ah, yes, his power.
His power, the famous power
also,
that he's always
burning
had.
his ashes. How do you burn ashes if you don't have form?
He found a way, baby.
He can make fire and whatnot without having any sort of form.
Motherfucker's dead.
How can he do anything? Exactly, he's dead.
Yeah. Honestly, he should have stayed dead.
He should have stayed dead. Jacob should have stayed dead.
He should have stayed buried in the ground.
Yeah.
Instead, he had to haunt us for this whole damn-ass terrible season. That's
he had
no
to
good.
burn ashes.
I wouldn't be so riled up if the last episode you watched wasn't so damn good.
I know.
But this one just wasn't anything.
Do you want to watch another episode?
I think we got no choice.
All right. Well, I went to random.org.
In too deep.
I put in 1 to 60.
Mm-hmm.
I clicked generate.
Yes.
I got number 7.
7. Lucky number 7. Oh, baby. Okay. Interesting. Season 1, as you might have guessed, episode 11. The episode is titled All the Best Cowboys Have Daddy Issues. And it's a Jake who's Jake? It's a Jack episode.
A Jack episode. Cool. Yeah, that sounds cool to me.
All right, I'm ready for some perfectly serviceable television.
Exactly. Give me season 1.
Give me season 1. Just take me down to when the storytelling was character based and tight.
God.
Mamma mia. Ugh. Bad episode.
Bad, awful episode.
No good. So that's been the show, huh?
Yeah.
So I guess now we got to do the old stuff. I'm Bean. You can find me on twitter.com @BarrierTrio.
I'm James. Follow me on Twitter at James Brown.
Noise space? No, James Brown .space?
James Brown .space as well.
Yes. You can also find the show on facebook.com/The Island Shuffle or on Twitter @IslandShuffle. We are generously hoisted. We're hoisted up by Noisepace.xyz, a lovely little podcast network full of all kinds of fun podcasts like Middle Brow Madness, City Girls Make Do, Jurgen It, Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, My Pod Cabbages. A lot of fun podcasts that you love to listen to.
I like it.
If you like to listen to our podcast, you'll probably like to listen to these ones because they're great and I like to hear them. That is the whole deal, isn't it?
That is it.
Gosh, that is it, huh?
We did the deal.
We did the deal. We've shaken hands with the devil, and
he is just smoke.
He's just smoke, and he says, "Want to do some murders for me?" And we say, "Oh yeah,
oh
baby.
yeah,
oh bah, oh no." That I made a mistake. We have to do this whole episode over again.
Oh no.
Oh,
okay,
geez.
Well,
man,
we might not be able to.
I don't think we have the time. I think we're running out of tape.
Exactly, yeah. Oh my God, all my hard drives are full.
Your hard drives are full. We'll just have to end this episode and hope nobody notices.
Don't listen to the end of this.
Don't listen to the end of this. Shut this off. Shut this off right now. Don't even delete it. This never happened.
Throw your phone off the dock.
Forget about it.
Yep.
Forget about it.
Forget
Forget you ever heard any of this.
Yeah.
I'm sure that won't be too hard.